Yeah, just did a test and I got 300 milliamps from the generator coils only. Now I want to test the motor coils only. Before, with all south or north, all facing the same polarity magnets, north, 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 all the way around, instead of north, south, north, south. When I tested it, have been testing it like that, I could get 590 milliamps of current crowbarring with an ammeter on these motor coils and 16 volts. And I could put a resistive load on it and the volts would hold up. And while over here on the generator coils with all north facing magnets, not north-south magnets, I'd only get about 100 milliamps or so, going 3600 RPM, and a lot of volts, 83 volts, but put a resistive load on it and that voltage just cuts down to like 2 or 3 volts. I had a 22 ohm resistor on it. So I think what's happening is these magnets are very thin. The field only projects out, maybe this much. So it reacts to the ferrite core, but the coil only gets a small portion of it induced by the sweep of the magnets, and the rest of the wines all the way back, and they're pretty fat wines, 22 gauge, and the coil is pretty fat too. And all those additional wines don't do anything but work like resistance to kill the power being made in a small portion of the coil. I think that's what's going on there. So, but I switched to north-south magnets, and now it's like causing the core to go one direction and then the other direction fully. And so I'm getting a collapsing field, I guess. So now over here on the generator coil side, I just made 300 milliamps crowbarred and 107 volts maximum, just unloaded volts. And so before it was about 100 milliamps crowbarred with an ammeter and 83 volts over here on the generator coil side. So and this is with the no offset. So it looks like you do make more power on the generator coils with north-south magnets all the way around. However, I'm just looking at the meter, and it could be that the meter reads more because it's north-south and it's more AC than all DC. They're all facing the same. But when I spun it by hand, I could actually feel a little Lenz's law when I had the coil shorted out. So I think it is making more power, but I need to scope it. And so what I did not do last test was test the motor coils, because before they made 590 milliamps, which was a lot compared to the 100 over here in the generator coils, and it seems crazy because there's aren't nearly as the same amount of wines on the motor coils. Testing them as generator coils is what I did. And 590 milliamps crowbarred and 16 volts maximum is what I got here on the motor coils. So it seems like you should make a lot more over in the generator coils. It's 22 gauge compared to 25 on the motor coils, and there's a lot more wines, higher impedance. But the problem is most of the coil is not even getting influence, so all those extra winds just work like resistance and kills all the power you make. That's what I guess is going on here. So I'm going to test the motor coils now, see what they make, because I'm wondering, before it was 590 milliamps. Maybe I'll have an amp, 1 amp out of these guys now, and 30 volts. I'm going to predict now that I have north-south magnets. So I'm going to start it up and do it. So hold on a bit. Okay, it's now going. Meters in AC. And I'm making 21.8 volts from the motor coils working as generator coils. Now I'm going to put it over here in amps. Ready? Wow. 1.32 amps. Look, the draw goes up. I'm getting lens law. 1.3 amps. Take it off. The draw is 32. 36. 1.32, 1.3, draw goes up. Wow, okay. I'm going to shut it down. High-tech coupler works pretty good. So what I just saw is the reason I'm using a rotaverter motor to spin it, because these things are great to tell if you're getting lens law. If there's drag on the shaft, this thing will show it in extra draw. And I just saw that. So I am getting, with magnets straight across, north-south magnets, I'm making a whopping 1.3 amps from these motor coils over here. And that makes the draw go up over here all the way up to 0.52 from 0.3. So now I can do what the purpose of all this testing is. I want to see what the offset does. You know, this rotor a little bit off from this rotor, and try to make that lens law not happen by a little bit of offset to the two rotors. So now that I am seeing lens, because of a lot of power being made in amperage wise, now I can start testing the offset. Before I would do the offset, but I really wasn't making much power to see lens happening. It would just be the same anyways with this motor. But okay, so that's a good test. And I'm going to sign off and make another video later on. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for watching.